Hello everyone, I'm Lilette Khalija from All That Counts and I am part of the Trainer Writer Network for Intuit QuickBooks Online Australia. We are here with Tiana Tran to talk about how GovReports works with QuickBooks Online to provide a compliant online reports and BAS lodgement portal for advisors. To get things started, I'm going to hand things over to Tiana, so she can show us all the exciting information on GovReports and all the things we should all know. Thank you, Tiana. Over to you.
Thanks, Lilette. I'll probably start with the very brief introductions of GovReports. GovReport is the complete SBR lodgement portal for business, BAS and tax agents to securely submit regulatory and compliance reports to the respective government, including the tax office, ASIC for tax office for compliance and tax returns reports, payroll tax to all the state revenue officers, financial statements for ASIC and other government agencies as they become SBR enabled soon. We are currently operating in Australia for Australian businesses to prepare and meet compliance obligations. Why we started from the early days, we hear taxpayers and tax practitioners issues in meeting compliance. Not only technology available was not reliable at the time, the process was difficult to follow. We learned that they were in desperate need for more efficient, cost-effective and more streamlined system to manage their business and personal affairs from simplest to the most complicated arrangement. So we developed and released GovReports with an aim to provide secure and flexible data management services with local, privately hosted cloud applications. We integrate a map data source to make your compliance reporting workflow process easier. And for Intuit QuickBooks users, GovReport is integrated with QuickBooks to provide a direct end-to-end activity statement lodgement service available at your fingertips from within GovReports and from within QuickBooks with a single sign-on access. Generally, GovReports features include the automatic pre-filling from ATO, so and from other software, and in this case, it's QuickBooks. So you get the data that ATO on your normally if you would get from your from the paper form, all the information that the ATO has about your business directly pre-fill into the form. And of course, if it's QuickBooks, you also get that data access, the information from QuickBooks straight onto the form. Electronic record keeping is another benefits of GovReports. Unlike the paper lodgement, all your lodgement with GovReports, all your lodgement can be recorded from the one place. And if you are an agent, all your clients' reporting and lodgement will be accessible from GovReports. Once you've lodged with GovReports, you get an instant validations and receipts to show to prove that you have lodged and the time and date that it has been accepted by the ATO. So if in the future, if there is an audit or ATO come back to you and say, well, they never got that lodgement that you've lodged, you can certainly show them that the lodgement receipts and when it hits the ATO system, so they can go directly into the system and collect that lodgement that you made during that time. The lodgement is in real time, unlike the portal and any other lodgement process. Once, if you do the lodgement from GovReports, within minutes you can see that, or seconds, you can see that on the ATO portal. And even better, it's actually get processed faster because it hits the central database of the ATO. The typical example is PAYG. When a BAS agent or a business lodge a PAYG payment summaries, within minutes the tax agents can be able to view that on his agent portal, the details of the employees' PAYG, and be able to do the tax return immediately.
I think what's really important, Tiana, is being able to also do amendments. It's so much easier to do amendments for PAYG summaries than it is on, say, the AusKey portal. So that's where I think the real benefit lies as well, is doing adjustments.
That's correct. So yes, you can do the amendment to not only the PAYG, the taxable payment annual report, and other other forms as well. The process is is simple in GovReports. You simply go back to the period that you've lodged, or whatever. Select the period that you've previously lodged, and select the form and lodge, and do the amendment. Just make sure you mark it as an amendment.
That's right. That's the key.
Okay. Of course, with GovReports, it's the difference also, and because it is your own lodgement portal, you can also save and save the report if you halfway through the preparations process of an activity statement or a tax returns or whatever that you do. You can save it and then come back to it at the later time. So it's basically quite work with your own at your own pace. And as Lilette just mentioned earlier, yes, you can amend and revise lodge reports capabilities. And of course, there are a lot more functionalities in there, including management of if you've got more people, more people in your business that wants to have access, and you want to give them some responsibilities in the preparing or lodging compliance reports. So what I'll do now, instead of going straight to the pricing, I'll go through the very quick demo of how to lodge with QuickBooks through GovReports and activity statements. So I'm just going to quickly log into GovReports, and I'm logging in using a tax agent's account rather than a a business or a BAS agent, but account. It is similar. There's little slight difference for businesses, but for those people that are business account holders of GovReports, the difference is that you could see here, it's instead of my clients, you will see my business instead of my clients. So this is the dashboard. It is customizable. You can move things, or you can create, manage how you want your dashboards to look. To change and some of the things in here, you can remove some of if there are icons or there are services there that you don't want to see, you simply remove them, and that basically will change your dashboards, and you can move things around how you want it to look. So the second time that when you log in, the next time that you log in, you can see what you want what you have created or what you have adjusted previously. So let me now go through the features of of GovReports. So on the left-hand side, you've got the left-hand menu, Bird's View, simply your home, My Business or My Clients, or all the business entities that you have entered will be listed in your in My Clients or My Business tab here. And My Users, of course, if you have more than one, more than just yourself using the system, then you can go in there and manage your who has access to the account, or clients or businesses that are listed in this account. And of course, My Lodgement, this is basically everything related to your lodgement in the past, with or without, via GovReports or not via GovReports as well. That's your the left-hand menu, and on the dashboard, whatever the services that you have subscribed for, you can also get access to some of the services here. Outstanding reports is an additional, an optional features that for people that do activity statements, lodgement through GovReports. This basically we will remind the service basically that will tell you which clients, and overview will tell you which clients that upcoming with an upcoming activity statements is due. And of course the overdue, so that it reminds you when when the activity statement is due, so that you can go in. If it's over for this, for example, this one we got a few companies here that that I have not done. This is, mind you, this is a testing account. All the clients here, all the business details here are not real. So if I for this for this particular example, I have a few clients here that I have not lodged an overdue activity statements, and I can go straight in. If I want to click prepare, and I'll go straight into the form and be able to prepare that for that client for that particular period. And if I'm in halfway through it and it's still overdue, it would tells me that if I want to go back in and edit it, edit that form. Anything that you have saved previously, save as the report, you can get access to it from here, lodge reports, and of course anything you lodge today. Now, you will get your profile, and to lodge, I would say that the process is quite simple. Just type in the name of the clients that you want to work on. You will see the client's details. If there is more than one branch or more than one branch for these clients, you will see the list of them, and you can select which one you want to work on. For this particular one, there's only one branch, so I can click on that one. I can close down my windows, close this window down a little bit so I can see my bigger screen of the business that I want to work on. You can see the work in progress, which is part of the practice management tool that we have within GovReports. In this account, we have all the services that I have included in there. So you got the GovReports office, which will highlight the work in progress of your of all the work that I'm working for this particular client. An overview basically means it's an overview of the business that I'm working, and contact details for this client. If I want to change it, I can click edit here, or just go into edit the pen where you see the pen. And of course, anything that I have saved or draft for this business will be under the save and draft column. And of course, anything that I've lodged for this client as a tax agent, I can see it right here. So it simply means that if you are in front of the client, if I'm a tax agent and I'm in front of the client, I can just go into this client and be able to do everything I want to for these clients. And to lodge, I simply goes to forms, select the form that I want to work on, and in this case, an activity statement. And we're going to try to lodge through using this client is using QuickBooks. So let me just. So first, before you, when you go and do any lodgement for any particular client, and when you select the activity statements, you must confirm the time, the time range, because ATO does list out, issue activity statements every, on a regular basis for the client depending on their status with the ATO. Once you confirm, if you put in the date range that is quite big and quite wide, it will list out all the activity statements that the ATO has issued for that particular client during that period. So if the shorter you are, the quicker that you'll be able to get access to the form that you want to work on immediately. So once you've selected the date range, it would list out all the activity statement for that period that you have selected. Select the form that you want to work on. I'm going to use QuickBooks. Once you select the QuickBooks, of course you can do it manually, but in this case we assume that most people would want to use QuickBooks because you're lodging from QuickBooks Online. Now, previously, if you have previously using QuickBooks to lodge, some of the password and so forth will be saved here, and your QuickBooks access will be saved so that you do not need to put in the details. But if this is the first time that you log in to QuickBooks from GovReports, you would need to put in your email, your username and password, and of course there would be security details that you need to enter as well. Once you get the this successful to connect to QuickBooks Online. That means the information from the QuickBooks, the BAS statements for that particular period has been successfully imported. Click Next, and you can review the document, all the information. On the first report details, you would see the pre-filling from the ATO, the document ID, the APN, the form, the date, the form which is the due date, and of course the accounting period. So check these details. If it's not correct, you can always contact us or contact the ATO to amend, because most of those information, well, those information earlier are not amendable because it's coming from the ATO. The information here and the next few pages will be from QuickBooks. You can certainly go in and amend some of the information here and just enter the detail as you would like to if it's not correct. But otherwise, just click straight through. Click Next, review the information. Once you're happy with everything, put in the date that you want to lodge. If I want to lodge it today, which is today is not the future date. Okay. And confirm. If I'm happy with everything, I can click Lodge. But if in this case, if I'm doing this as a tax agent or as a BAS agent, I would normally save and validate. Means that I'll save it and validate with the ATO to make sure all the figures are correct before I lodge. But if I've got digital signature, then I can also save, validate, and send for signature. But if I'm not ready, I can save as a draft and then come back to it later to do the further amendments that I want to do. If I'm happy with everything, I'm going to save and validate now. Once you have save and validate, it will now go to your save reports. You can see the status is now valid. If I want to go in there and then send an email to my clients for authorizations to lodge, in this case, I'm acting as a tax agent. So if I want to send that off, I can send it to my clients or can send it to myself. Now, if you do, before you do, if you have your email settings with GovReports, or you can customize your emails so that it will send from your email rather than from GovReports. And of course, you can put in the email signature as well, which we have right here. So, assuming that I'm happy with everything, I can change. Declined. Yep. Happy with everything. I can send that off to the clients, and hopefully the clients will approve it. Once they approve it, it will come back to me. Once they approve it, I will then go back to the save reports. Now, because I'm not going to sign it off because I don't know where I send it to, but if my clients did approve it, and then I want to go back and sign it. Now you've got digital signature. It would say that valid and signed. So I then can tick the one that I want to lodge selected, and voila, it would be lodged to a tax office directly. Just make sure the status that the one that you lodge is valid. The status is valid. Just select those ones. If it's in draft, you would not be able to lodge. It means that it's incomplete reports that you have in your save reports, and it would not allow you to lodge. But all the ones that you have as valid status or valid if it's digital signature and it has been signed, then you can tick those ones and click lodge in one go. That's basically the lodgement process of GovReports. If you, like I've said, there is a lot of functionalities that you can get access to from GovReports within GovReports, including email settings, so that if you're sending it to your clients, any documents and so forth, it will be coming from your email, and you can also track it if you can't remember when you sent to your clients. If it's through your email, you can track it, but if it's through GovReports, unfortunately we cannot support that, but otherwise it would be quite easy for you to track. That's basically the lodgement process of activity statements using QuickBooks. like I said, you can do your email settings directly from here, and just make sure you want to, you set it to the email that you want to be sent from, and how your clients see you. So that's the lodgement process.
Right.
Now I'll go back to the pricing.
Okay, yes, please do.
We do. Yep.
I just have a question, Tiana.
Yep.
A question that might be on everyone else's mind is how to get a client into GovReports. You'll traditionally have to enter them into AusKey platform, the ATO platform, for them to be recognised in GovReports.
Currently, yes. If you, as a tax agent or a BAS agent, if you are adding clients to GovReports, it needs to be in the ATO portal before you add the clients, before you can use GovReport for lodgement, because our system synchronized with the ATO, so it needs to be, accepted from the ATO first. Client update, that's the client update services. That, at the moment, unfortunately, like I said, you have to go to the ATO portal and add that in first, if for lodgement with GovReports. But having said that, if you we are work in progress with the ATO to enable that services directly from GovReport shortly. We don't know, we can't give you the timeline, but certainly the client update, integrated account balance, and a lot more ATO services will soon be available on GovReports as well.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's talk about pricing.
Okay, let's go back to pricing. So we do have two pricing structure. One is the pay-as-you-go, so you can pay per lodgement per lodgement, or if you've got very minimal amount of lodgement. So for businesses, for business, it's only one lodgement, one pricing structure, that is pay per lodgement. So per lodgement is $12.50 plus GST. You can select the services that you want. If it's an activity statement, it's $12.50. Other forms will be depending on what you need. So tax file number, PAYG, etc. It's $12.50 straightforward. But if it's tax return, it's a little bit more. It's $25 plus GST. For tax agents and BAS agents, the pricing can be, you can choose either per lodgement if you have very limited number of clients, or you can choose the annual subscriptions. So you choose however that suits your business structure. You can customize the pricing, so you can have a combination also of both pay per lodgement or annual subscription for tax agents and BAS agents. For businesses, unfortunately, there's only one pricing structure, that is the pay per lodgement or pay as you go. Customize it to how it suits your business. And like I said, that's pretty straightforward.
Fantastic. With the business, where I can see that they would benefit, where I've seen, clients who have payroll tax in every single state. Now, to actually log on every single OSR website and to go to that effort and lodge and manually put the information in, that takes a lot of time. So this is where I potentially, small businesses would benefit from subscribing to GovReports. One place, one section.
That's correct. So at the moment, I can also tell you that we are working on a spreadsheets where you can enter the details of all, your payroll, and our system will be allocating to different payrolls, allocate the amount to different states for you to lodge, but that's soon to come. But certainly it is still a lot easier using GovReport for lodgement of payroll tax to different states, because you can one single access, one single sign-on, and you can use, you can prepare and lodge different payroll to different payroll tax offices.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's, I guess, for pro advisors out there, if they're thinking where businesses can, I guess, get the benefit of GovReports, that to me automatically raises alarm bells where businesses are logging in individually to every state, and it can take hours to do that. So that's brilliant. The other thing, I guess, that I find is a time saver as BAS agents or tax agents is that online signature, where previously, you'd have to email it out and get it, get the BAS activity statement back in and then manually go back and press lodge. This is, it's brilliant. So the whole online signature, you've got an audit trail as well, which is great. You know exactly where you're up to. As a practice manager, you know exactly what's out there for sign-in, what's saved, what's in draft. And I guess you sum it up pretty well, bird's eye view.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think that's all we have time for, Tiana. Thank you so much for taking us through GovReports and how it interacts with QuickBooks Online. And I guess if anyone has any further questions, they know where to contact you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Delilah. I had a pleasure. Yep.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.